liberty and justice for all.
All righty. Adoption of the agenda.
I have something to add under other business, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, I do too.
And we're taking something out. We're taking out
All right.
number,
Where is it?
No, we did not have.
We didn't put it
We
in.
didn't have
Wasn't
it
on
on
there.
We
there.
didn't put it on to
We
begin
were
with.
thinking
Yep.
about adding it,
oh,
but
okay.
So
I got
forget
it.
about what we just said.
We don't
Yep.
need to take anything
Yep.
off if we didn't put it on.
Nothing, nothing
Right.
on, nothing off.
All right. Public comment? I just heard the door open.
Public comment?
Nope.
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 Yeah.
They're here for something else. Oh,
Mary Ann is.
Mary Ann. Oh,
I'm Mary Ann Nave with the Conservation Commission.
Yes, you
And I
are.
just wanted to remind everybody again tonight that the Water Witches are going to have their program next Wednesday at the school. It's entitled Be Water Wiser, Preserving Harpswell's Water Supply. It's at 6 o'clock at the community school. Going to be an interactive meeting. We're looking to talk with residents or whoever happens to come to talk about how we can conserve and harvest the water that we get from the sky. So hope you can come. It's at the community school next Wednesday at 6 p.m.
is that Halloween night?
Night before.
Oh, night
okay.
before.
But the Water Witches will be in costume, just
Halloween
in
Eve.
case. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Select board announcements.
I just want to say again, the TV station's bottle shed is closed. It was really getting kind of ridiculous, hard to get rid of the bottles. But if you want to donate still your bottles to the TV station, you can take them to Cousins up on the Bath Road next to Fat Boys, and they will credit the TV station with them, so.
You got anything, Jane?
No.
All right, town administrators report.
Yes, I want to ask the town clerk, Kathy Dowdy, if she'd like to give a brief report on voting and remind people when absentee voting is no longer available, those kinds of things. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Christy. To date, we have issued 1,742 absentee ballots. Of those, we have received back 1,271. So in reference, the total number of voters is 4,788. So 36% of the requested absentee ballots is of our voters, and 27% of our voters the absentee ballots have been received back. So we're very hopping in the clerk's office, which is very nice to see. The last day to request an absentee vote or absentee ballot, or to come into the clerk's office to vote is Thursday, October 31st, which is Halloween, and we will be open until 7 p.m. that evening for people to come in and vote or request their ballot, unless there's special circumstances. So after the 31st, if there's an unexpected absence from the town, you get called away on a job, a family member gets sick, you have to leave, or something on that nature, you can come in to the town clerk's office and get an absentee ballot. You can request your ballot by calling the clerk's office to receive your ballot to be mailed to you, but we're in that kind of time frame where the mail is iffy, but you could probably get it but not return it back to us by that time. All you got to do is call the town clerk's office, and we'll mail it out.
And when people return absentee ballots, they can return them directly to you?
They can either return them directly to us at the clerk's office, or they can drop them in the secure blue box that's outside for absentee ballots. And that can be done up until 8 p.m. on election night. We have to check that box at 8 to make sure there are no ballots in it, and then it's locked. However, myself and my election workers would really appreciate it if you could have them there before 8 p.m. That makes the evening go a little bit quicker for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. I did want to report to the board and to the public on the Town of Harpswell's local property tax assistance program. We are a community in Maine that has our own property tax assistance ordinance. It was adopted by the Town of Harpswell voters. We've had it in place at least 10 years, and this year we had 21 applications, 18 people qualified. for a total amount of $9,460. The average benefit was $526. In order to qualify for this program, you have to file your main income tax and this property tax fairness credit form. We do try to encourage people who might not normally file main income taxes to do that. We have people who are volunteers who help people with that process of filing. And we actually have an entity that will be coming to the town office early next year to help people file that application with the state. So we'd like to see these numbers increase, and we try to get the word out. We include an insert with our tax bill. We have information on the website, at the tax office. But again, you know, it just seems to take time for people to realize that this does exist. So this is a report, and I think the actual memo that we first posted was not accurate, and we have a corrected memo with the numbers that I just read. The other item I'd like to mention is that Matt Nixon, who is the owner of Merry Meeting Shellfish, he's down at the Mitchell Field property that was formerly leased to Running Tide. He has expressed an interest in exercising his option for additional acreage at Mitchell Field. So we have not begun to discuss that process with him in any detail, and I thought I would ask whether there would be one member of the board who would like to be involved in those discussions.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay.
He loves the punishment.
Yeah. Okay. I was in on the, I was in on the beginning, so I might as well.
Okay. Sounds good. Also, Medication Collection Day is here, Saturday, 10 to 2. It's always a busy time, and so we just encourage people who might have old medications in their, medicine cabinets to come by and, it really quick, easy, no questions asked, and they can be on their way. So we always seem to have a good turnout for that event. And let's see. Lastly, I did hear from the chair of the Mitchell Field Committee today that they are interested in putting a wildflower garden in one of the community garden areas that is not being used. So assuming there's no objection, they would follow through with that. I think it's about a 50 by 30 plot.
Right.
Okay, because there's an extra 100 by 100 plot there that they could use, right? So
I don't
there's
know
two. There's the 100 by 100 that's being used, and then there's
Okay.
another one set aside that's 100
I
by
think
100.
the objective is that this will eventually spread, probably
Oh, I'm
beyond
sure it
that
will.
initial area.
Sure it
So
will.
I think they're starting at that 30 by 50
Yep.
dimension. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
All right. What I think I'll do is, planning board's got a recommendation, but we also have a 6:15 public hearing. So why don't we slide down and do the proposal for winter sand? That way there, Amy, we just got a short
That should be quick.
public hearing. We'll look around, no objections, it'll last a minute.
Gives me a chance to go to that.
See? Perfect timing. Anyway, should we do a request for proposal for winter sand?
Yeah, I think the current vendor, who's done a wonderful job, has held the price for the last 3 years. So we're hearing that they plan to go up, and we decided that we should ask the board if you would like to go out to bid to see how competitive the market is and see if we can get the best pricing and quality that we're expecting.
Because the current vendor could end up being the
Could
cheapest.
be,
Yeah,
could be,
yeah.
yeah.
No, I
you
move
never
we
know.
go out, we send out for bids for for sand.
Second.
All in favor?
Great, thank
I
you.
do have a question, though. What, we due to buy some salt?
The salt, we're already bulk purchasing
We got
through
plenty.
Mid-Coast Council of Governments, so we're involved in that every year. We really get the best price through
Yeah,
that
that's
organization.
the way to go. Yeah.
That big pile of salt in South Portland.
Oh, yeah.
So they actually handle that more comprehensive bid that includes a number of other towns.
All right, I think we're close enough to 6:15 to open the public hearing regarding general assistance ordinance maxims.
So if you'd like, I can give you a brief summary.
Yep.
So the town of Harpswell, like every municipality in the state of Maine, must have a general assistance program, which requires us to cover what are considered basic necessities. That would be rent, food, utilities, It even involves potentially burials or cremations if folks don't have any funding for that. The program is under the umbrella of the State of Maine, the Department of Health and Human Services, so we receive 70% reimbursement of any of our expenses locally. Each year, we're provided with what are called the levels of assistance that we're able to give in the various categories, including an overall maximum level of assistance, and it's developed through some HUD information and calculations, and we are provided this information, again, on an annual basis. We often ask the Select Board not to accept the maximum level of housing assistance because we don't think that's reflective of the rent rates in Harpswell.
Correct.
So by not doing that, we have more flexibility to give people up to the maximum amount of assistance that we can. And so if you're a household of one and you have less than $1,139 of income, we can look at, being able to help you in various ways if there is a need. We certainly have to look at assets that people might have. We refer them to other types of resources that are available, such as food stamps, subsidized housing, those kinds of things. And so I'm available to answer any questions that you might have.
I just have a comment. I was surprised that on our first page, we have what the increases have been year on year. I was just surprised on Appendix B of food assistance.
I know.
It was 0.5%, given what we know about the realities of
I know.
the cost of groceries. I was
That surprised me too.
surprised and shocked.
Yeah,
And
I think this can be viewed as in addition to any food assistance people get through another program. So
Yes,
this could be in addition.
Like
And
the front
also,
room here.
also we have the food pantry here at the town office, which is being heavily used daily, on a
yes,
daily
yeah.
basis, so,
And
yeah.
Obviously, there are other sources,
Right,
but that was
right.
just,
Yeah,
yeah. I
didn't
know.
look right.
it didn't reflect what's happening.
Yep, yep.
Close the public hearing.
At this point, we'll close public hearing, and any discussion?
I move we accept everything but Appendix C.
And could you say retroactive to October 1st? That's
Yes,
the date.
retroactive
Okay,
first, thank you. Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
thank you.
Good. All right, planning board recommendation regarding the floodplain ordinance. Amy? It's all yours.
Thank you. I always feel like I'm about 3 years old when I stand at this podium because I can barely see over the top. Thank you for having me. I'm Amy Heibel, and what I'd like to do, if I can, for those who are watching and those who are here or maybe watching later, is just describe this letter that the planning board sent to the select board in the hopes of stimulating further discussion about this issue. So the planning board, as you know, in May of this year held a public hearing on the proposed flood management ordinance that is required by the federal government in order for property owners to have insurance on their property. But there's a major complaint by Harpswell's fishing community and other fishing communities and the voters that there's a 200-square-foot restriction on structures that are located seaward of the mean high tide. And our fishermen use these structures to store bait, equipment, and whatever for commercial fishing or lobstering operations. And further complicating this issue, this restriction, is that the federal, the FMO, the Flood Management Ordinance, has no provision that allows for replacement of these structures due to age-related damage or storm damage. And there also really isn't any language that allows for variances. It's very difficult. I mean, in effect, you're stuck with this 200-square-foot limit. Because the rules are promulgated or made at the federal level, not at the local level, we can't do anything about it, right? So when the planning board held the hearing and heard the comment and the feedback from the commercial fishing community, it asked the select board, which is the governing body of the town, to get in touch with our congressionals and ask them to change this thing. And that's what this letter is all about. I used to work for Senator Bill Cohen. I have a lot of familiarity with communities asking for this sort of thing. That is their job. When I was on the select board and we needed to dig up where we really wanted to dig up the pipeline for the fuel depot, we were told that it would be impossible to do that. We contacted our federal officials, our congressionals. We lobbied them. They came here. We got that thing dug up, 9 miles of pipeline. I think we can get 200 square feet limitation on commercial structures eliminated. So the thought is, invite them here, invite members of the commercial fishing community, let them see exactly what's going on, and put their feet to the fire and get them to change this thing. We have folks here from the codes office, and Matt, who's on the planning board and is a commercial fisherman, and they can help answer your questions as well. But we're asking for you to move this thing along. We'll help you out in any way that we can, and let's get the show on the road.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think Susan Collins is one of her best bets. She's already been here. She saw the damage back in January. So they had her down to Lookout and Mackerel Cove, or Bailey Allen, Guy Baker's place, so.
Yep.
Nope, I agree.
Yep, so I would suggest just writing a letter from all of the select board, asking them for a deadline for when they get back to you, inviting them to come here, and giving them a deadline when they're going to respond, and making sure that you keep it going.
Yep.
Okay, and you could even get, our state reps involved as well. In fact, I would definitely do that, get them to sign on to the letter as well. In fact, that would be actually a really good idea, is to meet with them, get them to sign on, and then send the letter from the select board and our elected reps at the state level to make a move.
Yep.
Thank you.
We will.
Yeah, I do just want to add to what the chairman of the planning board said, co-chair, or
No,
vice
actually,
chair.
I am the chair.
You're the chair, thank
Yes,
you.
yeah.
So we have had some communication through our kind of channel of communication to the state floodplain management coordinator. And I want to thank Margaret. She's reached out on several occasions to say, Harpswell's concerned about this 200 square foot issue. We'd like to talk about it. We'd like to meet with FEMA. And we really have not been getting their attention, quite frankly. So I think this is the step that needs to be taken now.
Yeah, and I want to thank Margaret specifically for this, because she brought this up. She has been a real leader on this issue, and we talked about this at a planning board workshop, and she just has been, she's been right on it, and really appreciate that.
Well, Angus lives right in Brunswick, so I'm sure we could get him personally over here. The others might be a staff member, but certainly that's something
Yeah.
I'd like to do.
We will.
We will take care of that.
Yeah, and, so I'm going to request of you what I hope you'll request of the congressionals and the other elected reps, and that is to keep us apprised of where you are.
Oh, yeah.
And if we don't hear from you, we'll come back and I'll be standing here again. Okay, thanks.
All right.
All right. We don't need anything to move on that. We just follow up.
Well, I'm assuming there's consensus. We'll draft
There
a
Oh, yeah.
letter for your.
Yeah.
There is.
Nod, nod,
Yeah,
nod.
yeah.
Yeah. All righty. Request for playground at Truett Summerton Ball Field. Who's your spokesperson? Oh, by the way, yes.
Yes, yes. Good evening, I'm Mary Coombs, and I am the spokesperson for all these lovely people over here, and we would like to raise funds to put a playground at the ball field, and potentially maybe build it through the years if we could. We were going to do some fundraising, have some dinners, and so forth, and I understand that there is some playground equipment in the garage that we can utilize so we can make it beautiful.
Now, are you, have you contacted anybody who designs playgrounds?
I have.
To do with the ADA requirements and
Yes.
all those wonderful things?
He is, his name is Eric, and he works for mainplaygrounds.com, and his office is on Lunt Road in Brunswick.
Yeah.
But I figured I needed permission first to fundraise before I brought him down to see what he could design for us.
I'd just like to make a comment. One, that personally, this is a great thing. I am the liaison to the Recreation Committee and work with Gina and that group a lot. Unfortunately, we didn't know on Monday when there was a meeting that this might come to our meeting tonight. So that committee has been apprised of your request to move forward. I had an informal meeting with the chair today and with Gina, who are very much supportive of this and will ready and able to work with you through the steps that will be taken.
Perfect.
And I know you've been in communication with Gina already. So,
Yes.
going forward, we'd look for that engagement with the committee so their resources and their perspectives can help in the design and
I looked
so
for
on.
Gina for guidance.
And she will give it too, yes. And they're, the rec committee does a lot of building of various facilities in
Oh, nice.
town, so there are resources there. I can't promise, but they're there. But there are some technical things that she says she'll need to work through with you
Yes.
going forward.
One thing that we were concerned about, me and Gina, where it was if we raise the funds, can we donate them to the town to put in the recreation fund so that then,
Right, right.
I think we're going to need a town meeting vote.
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, yes.
Because it's similar to the
Exactly.
bandstand. You
Exactly.
know, we had a specific vote on that, maybe two. But we could work together to get something on that March town meeting warrant that would authorize, you know, the town to be able to accept money for this project. And maybe there'll be a better idea of the size, the scope, the cost,
Right.
that type of thing. But I don't think we can accept funds specifically for that project until the voters have had a chance to weigh in.
And
All
it's-
right.
and the town is like a like a nonprofit. You can donate and take it on your taxes, so
Right.
very similar to a nonprofit.
Yeah, and the group that got together did the one at the community school. When that was done,
I think it was
So-
the parent-teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gina was
Organization that
involved
did
in
that.
that.
was
she
she
says.
involved in that?
Yes,
Yeah.
Gina was.
And it was
involved in
Amy
that.
York too, I think.
Yeah, and my neighbor Moran, I can't
But
think
the
of.
guy that I talked to, Eric, he's the one that did that one too.
Oh, did, oh,
And the one at the Coastal Academy.
yeah,
Yep.
just
So-
missed that one.
So liability. So if a child is hurt on the playground, I'm just asking.
Well, it's going
just-
to be on town property.
Right.
I mean, again, I think we've
Those are
got to
things
have a
to work
vote
Mm-hmm.
for the town to, you know, accept money for this project.
Yep.
But it would be a playground on town property, you know.
Yeah, when we brought the ball field land to the town, you know, there was a $50,000 grant floating out there. Town of Bowden turned it down.
Wow.
We were next in line, we got wind of it, and two of us went to Fred Summerton's house up on the hill and asked him if we could have a little bit of land, and he said, how much? He said, take all you want,
Wonderful.
And we did.
Wonderful.
and we did, yeah, so
Yes.
if he was around, he'd love it,
Right?
yeah.
I just worry because, like, my little nieces, whenever you have something at the ball field, you always have either an older sibling or a younger sibling that has nothing to do. And there's that great ledge and those steps there. So Gina gave me a map of it, and her thing was to put it on the backside so it's not near the parking lot and all that stuff. So I thought that would be better than to have them play on ledges and stairs.
Correct.
So what do we need?
I think
Preliminary-
maybe refer this group or the spokesperson to work with the recreation
Yeah. The
group.
department on a
Exactly.
plan that
Yeah.
would come
The Coombs
back to the
family.
board so you could
And Ryan
consider.
Homes friendly.
And Melinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, so moved that we recommend referral to the Recreation Director and the Recreation Committee to work with you.
And a very
And
hard
bring
second.
something- Yes.
Yeah. All in favor?
Perfect. Thank you.
Hey, like that. consulting agreement services with Viewshed and Plan Me.
So a couple of items here, I think they're primarily housekeeping. The task force for the comprehensive plan is moving forward. Probably at some point, we should have them come to a select board meeting and give you an update. But we understand they're going to be needing some additional services from Viewshed, which was the lead consulting firm that worked on the project. Initially, the town signed a $92,673 contract. We expected the project to be completed by March 2024, but obviously, we want more time to make edits, to have more community engagement. And so the task force, I think, has really looked at how the consultant's services could best be utilized, and they're suggesting that an additional $4,000, or we're suggesting to meet those tasks and obligations that are remaining and are additional to the first contract, that this board accept an amendment to that original one, not to exceed $4,000.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay. And then I think, additionally, we have an addendum to agreement for professional planning services. Mark Ironman of Plan Me,
I notice this is the
obviously.
ninth addendum.
He's transitioning out.
Slowly he walks.
So in this particular addendum, he's no longer primarily responsible for planning board, the planning office. We can consult on an as-needed basis, but he is going to become more involved with the comp plan task force and try to help get to this March 2025
Yeah,
deadline.
it's nice to still have him around for a while.
So I think he certainly has the institutional knowledge to help work through that comp plan process.
The
And I
one
think
question that's not in here, is it the same terms as the July 11th?
it is, yeah. He
okay.
has not gone up in pricing in this
I-
particular
I
contract.
move we add this addendum and sign it.
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
I should mention that we are looking at a specific contract with Plan Maine, which is Mark Ironman, for his work with the Housing Committee. So I think at your November 7th meeting, you'll be naming, I think we have 4 people who are interested in serving on the Housing Committee. I don't know if you have some other people that you want to.
I'm trying to find, we need more.
Okay. Yeah. But I guess if you want something on that March town meeting, we probably need to get this group appointed soon, get his contract
Yeah.
approved, and they can start working on
Yeah.
that.
So,
Get them.
So that'll be coming in a couple weeks.
so Mark's never going away.
Well, I think we're really trying to get down to special projects. So the comp plan will have finality. The housing thing, I'm not sure
Yeah.
if that will, but at some point, he's not going to want to continue with that. I don't know how long he'll be willing after the March town meeting.
He loves it here.
And, we have a few special projects here and there, but,
Yeah.
he doesn't miss all the committee meetings and the night meetings,
Huh,
It's been a long road for him in that area.
I don't know
so,
how he does it.
Yeah,
All right,
good.
where are we at? Oh, my
I
goodness.
think we're at authorization of the warrant.
We are, I can't believe we're at the bottom.
Wow.
I move we authorize the warrants.
Second.
All in favor?
Hey,
All right, other business. David had something and I have something.
Shall I go first?
Sure.
The television station, Tim came over and inspected it and found there was mold in the crawl space underneath, and so the station hired the dump guy to clean out all the old lumber and building materials left over from 24 years ago, and then hired T.C. Hafford, All Things Basement-y, to seal it, and the total cost so far is about $6,000. But I took a load of stuff up on old insulation and things that we hauled out of the ceiling down there up to the transfer station, and I think it was the next day, Chuck notified Donna that we are not one of the town committees that's allowed to dump for free up there. First of all, we're not a town committee, but it is a town building, and so I would think that any material that was part of the structure should be able to, I mean, I wouldn't, if it's a piece of furniture or something like that, that doesn't count, but if it's part of the structure, I would think that we should be able to dump it up there. There shouldn't be a lot of that. I mean, the roof needs to be done soon, but I'm assuming that the contractor would haul those shingles away, so.
I think the staff would agree that if it's building-related, but did not want to give this broad,
Carte blanche.
unlimited,
Yeah.
can dispose of anything at no cost.
Right, I don't think the station's looking for that. The nonprofit is just, I mean, anything that's in the furniture or anything like that that belongs to the nonprofit, that's different.
But if it is associated with the building,
Right.
I think, I did speak with the manager, and I think we're comfortable with that. I would ask that you not vote on this tonight, since
Yeah.
you presented it and you're the president of the organization.
Sure. And I have to say, I certainly appreciate Chuck's keeping track of the budget, and he watches it like an eagle. I think he does a great job, and it's appropriate for him to bring this up, so.
Right.
So are the two of you in agreement that if there's
Yeah.
a disposal fee at the transfer station that's associated with the building,
With the building, yeah.
Correct.
that there would not be a charge?
It's a town-owned building, so,
Mm-hmm,
yeah, I don't have a problem with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I got a scheduling thing for our next meeting, November 7th.
That's right.
Can we meet on the 6th, maybe?
6? Okay.
It's a Wednesday?
Wednesday,
Yeah, move it to Wednesday.
Sure.
I'm going under the
You're going to
knife.
be a little, yeah,
Yeah,
indisposed.
if it's in the morning, I can come here, I don't care.
They'll kick you out.
It's the day after Election Day, the 6th. So 6 PM? You good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay,
Well,
good.
we can do it earlier if you want, because it's a work day for you and Terry. So
I won't be here, so I have other plans.
why are you waving your hands in there?
I asked her to come out.
Oh, is that going to conflict?
What's that conflict with?
It sounds like that bumping the Conservation Commission meeting at 4:30?
If they meet at 6, will that
Not if
bump?
they
No.
meet earlier.
Oh, if they meet at 6, they'll be okay,
Oh,
right?
yeah, we'll be done.
All right.
I get it,
Oh,
okay.
so are you all right missing a meeting by not missing a meeting?
Oh, yeah. I'm perfectly fine with that.
And since Terry's not here, we'll commit her.
All right, so 6 o'clock on the 6th.
Perfect.
Thanks.
And in terms of meetings, I would ask the board if you would hold a special meeting on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday at 3 PM to discuss the
Boiler.
boiler situation
There,
here.
yeah.
We were going to consider adding it tonight, but the Thayer representative couldn't be here. So I think Thayer really needs to come to present its proposal,
Oh, yeah.
answer any questions you may have. Also, any questions that I receive from the Energy and Technology Committee, I will forward to the Thayer representative, so he'll be prepared to answer those questions when he comes. Great. Thank you.
All right. Anything else? You got anything?
Me?
David, you good?
Nope.
At this point, we're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Short.
I need to go get the warrant.
I was gonna